This is Rich Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Oh, I feel bad for everybody else because I am about to lay waste to the sports radio industry. You're going to get 8 hours of the greatest content in the history of this medium between today's show here on Wildcats Radio 1290 and my national show tonight on CBS Sports Radio. I am ready to go. I am pumped. I am primed. I am sticky. It's going to be awesome today on the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on a Friday. My sidekick, my amigo, my compadre, my kababayan, that's Filipino. Dragon Ball standing by. Get ready for an amazing show today here in Tucson, Arizona. We're going to continue our Pac-12 preview. We're going to talk with Todd Mckim about Cal football. So much has been said about Cal and the UCLA Bruins that are leaving the Pac-12. He's joining us on the program today. I got to catch up with Brett Boone. We haven't talked to him in forever. By the way, he had to talk. He had a conversation yesterday with Bill Walton, so you got to feel what it's like to be Dave Pasch and Roxy Bernstein. Boone joins us from Seattle. Dragon Ball has his football headlines. I actually found something good to talk about in sports because all I ever do is complain, and Dragon Ball's been telling me I'm a grumpy old man.
You've had your grumpiness recently.
Yeah, well, I have a reason to be grumpy today, but I'm not going to let that affect me. So I found a couple stories that are going to make you feel good about athletes since all they ever do is beat people up. And, I am so excited about this. I am so fired up for this. I will run through a wall for this man. The one, the only, Tucson's top cat, Chuck Cecil, joins us today as we congratulate him for being the top cat. Number one, Tucson's favorite son, the University of Arizona's favorite Wildcat of all time, as voted on by you, the listeners of Wildcats Radio 1290. You're going to want to hear what Chuck has to say. I'll tell you right now, he'll be humble. He'll be self-deprecating, and that's part of his charm, and that's why people love him in this community. So we've got, like I said, a lot to get to, and then I'm back tonight, 11 o'clock, here on CBS Sports Radio. I've got a great show planned for you as well. Now, by the way, I do share this with you. I'll use some of that national radio gravitas, pull, juice, whatever you want to call it, to use some of those interviews over here. So I'll tell them, hey, listen, can I get you on CBS? And I'm going to put you on the local show as well. So that's where Boonie's going to come on, but we'll have a little bit of an extra with Brett because I want to ask him what it was like to talk to Bill Walton. So we have that on the agenda for today, plus your telephone calls. By the way, do we have our VIP caller sound effect?
Yes, we do.
I'm digging this and the feedback that I've been getting. You know what? When you call the radio show, what the research says is like 2% of the people that listen call the radio show. I was talking to a couple people today. I listen. Like, how come you never call? I don't know. I just like listening. Okay, good. But when you call in, the people that call in and they're part of the show and they contribute to the show, that's what Rome always talks about, contribute to the jungle. We did come up with this special VIP sound effect for people that call in. They're regular callers that contribute things to the program, like David or Arthur, the Tuffy the Toro, or Paul and Phoenix. If you start calling into the show and you get to be a regular and you get to be a friend of the program, you'll get this sound effect whenever we put you on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
You won! You did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
Hello?
That's it. You get to call into the program as well because I want to experience all of this with you today on the program. So let me get to the first things first. It's time to see what's rattling around in my big old head.
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Chrome Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
It's not that big.
It's not that big.
That's what she said. It's not that big. So no, the size of my head.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna put out an Instagram post in a little bit. It's a public service announcement for those of you that live in the desert where it's 111 degrees. You know what you shouldn't do? Leave a 12-pack of Diet Coke in your car.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So you realize all this week, my Diet Coke intake, and when I say Diet Coke, it could be Diet RC, Good Guys at Khalil, it could be Diet Pepsi, but just a diet soda is what I drink during the program. And now I'm not weird about that. Like I got a buddy of mine, Eli Gold, who's the voice of the University of Alabama.
Right.
He only drinks Diet Coke. Only drinks Diet Coke. So if we go to a venue that doesn't serve Diet Coke, he sneaks in his own Diet Coke. And he has one of his guys. He has two guys that travel with him. That's a spotter and a stat guy, and they make sure that Eli has his Diet Coke because he's a creature of habit, as am I. So I like to drink a soda during the program. And I've had the hardest time all week. Like yesterday, I went to go get a soda before the show, and I got back and I started drinking it, and it was a Dr. Pepper. I'm diabetic. That would have put me in a diabetic coma. Some of you might have liked that, but I wanted to do all 3 hours of the show. So my wife said, "Hey, listen, there's some Diet Cokes in the garage. Just take a 12-pack of that way you don't have to leave it." Okay, that's a good idea. So I came in, and I had too much stuff in my hand, so I left it out in the car. Then I got busy, and I forgot about it. Oh, man, you know what? I got that 12-pack of Diet Coke. I should go get it out. So I went and got it out, and I opened it up, and I was like, oh, I'll put it in the refrigerator. And then all of a sudden, the refrigerator starts making noise. I'm like, I wonder what that is. And you can't put a Diet Coke that's been in your car when it's 112 degrees in your car and then immediately put it into a refrigerator.
Yeah, no, you got to let that thing sit in the sink for a little bit there, just in case.
I didn't do that.
Oh boy.
So it's you're starting to hear it like rattle inside the refrigerator that I have in my office. I opened it up. I pulled the soda out. I mean, the biggest explosion you will hear anywhere.
Yikes. Now, how...
The top, not the tab, the top blew off the soda.
Okay.
It hit me in the chest.
Ooh. Okay, now was this just one can or was it the multiple?
Oh, no, then they all started exploding. So I grabbed them and threw them out in the driveway.
Oh, boy.
So I'm covered head to toe in Diet Coke. So
That's
my just little things of trying to drink a soda are just flummoxing me right now in the middle of summer.
Well, summer's a very, very rough time, especially if you're trying to get sodas out of the car, or if you're trying to beat the heat with a little bit of an ice cream bar or something like that, and you realize that, oh, now I have a puddle of milk just sitting in the car because I left it in there for too long.
Captain, where are my pants?
I have no idea where my pants are. I have no idea where my shirt is. Thank goodness I had an extra shirt in my office.
Yeah, there you go.
Otherwise, I'd have to do the show today on YouTube like The Machine. You know who The Machine is, right?
The Machine?
Yeah.
Not to the top of my knowledge.
I think it's Bert Kreischer or something like that. I am the Machine.
Oh.
You've seen that?
Okay, yes.
I went to Russia and learned Russian with banditis, Russian mafia. Have you heard that? Have you seen it before?
I think I've seen like maybe a clip, but I haven't seen it like in its entirety.
Oh.
I've definitely heard the voice clips, though.
I've watched him on Netflix. I've seen him. If he ever comes anywhere near me, I will rush out to buy tickets to see The Machine. I am the Machine. So anyway, just a public service announcement. Don't leave a 12-pack of Diet Coke in your car for 6 hours, then come back and try to put it in the refrigerator. It's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
And then you know what's worse than that? Telling your wife about it and then having her tell you you're an idiot.
Well, you have to tell it to somebody, right? Now, it's not just your wife now.
Well, because I got to bring home the dirty shirt and I got to tell her,
this has got to go in the wash immediately.
Why I'm coming home drenched in dried up Diet Coke.
Yeah. No, at that point, it's definitely more so.
You want to know why? Because I am the Machine. Okay. Let's see what's rattling around elsewhere in my big old head. John Canizano. I think John Wilner, John Canizano are 1-2, 2-1. reporting on everything going on with Pac-12 realignment. The Shoe Dog. You know who that is? The Shoe Dog?
The Shoe Dog?
Shoe Dog. It's Phil Knight.
Oh, yes.
Phil Knight is not going to let Oregon be a weak sister. He's not going to let them go quietly into that good night. And he continues to work the phones, trying to figure a way to keep his beloved Oregon Ducks in a power conference. Not Power 5. Power. Singular. Meaning, SEC, you want Shoe Dog come over there and take care of business? He can. Big 10, would you like the Shoe Dog to come in there and bring all of his might in there? He can. And here's something I'm going to throw out at you. We've talked about this, and I've broken it down. I need passionate fans, and I need eyeballs. Eyeballs equals money.
Yes.
So why does Oregon have so much juice? And Canizano made a really good point today that I'm going to steal on the program. The reason why Oregon is such a hot commodity is because they have a passionate fan base, and the money that they have from Phil Knight makes them a power player because he's donated so much to that program. He's donated so much in facilities. He's made up the lack of eyeballs, the lack of revenue, the market size is made up by the generosity of Phil Knight to Oregon. So you put the Phil, and I hadn't been able to explain it yet until today. You put the generosity and the largesse of Phil Knight along with the passionate fans of Oregon Ducks and all their cool gear, and every kid in America wants to wear Oregon gear. That makes up for the size of their market. That's why Oregon is a player in all of this single-handedly because of one person. Here's what I learned listening to the Boone podcast last night. You ready?
Give it to me.
Take the combined income of the National Basketball Association, the National Football League, and Major League Baseball. You combine them, they still don't make as much money as Nike.
Combined?
Combined. That's Bill Walton said that last night on the Boone podcast.
Wow.
So that's why Oregon is in the position they are. I'm going to talk about this in just a second. Pac-12 might look at a different model from ESPN because there's two buckets of money that the worldwide leader in sports has. One is ESPN. The other is something I pay for. ESPN Plus.
Oh, right.
I'm going to break that down for you on the program. And by the way, one more thing. Pac-12 Media Day is a week from today. We'll be in Los Angeles. LA Live will be streaming all day, and we'll be doing the radio show from 3 to 6. But you'll be able to watch us on Facebook and YouTube all day long. Starting at 8 o'clock, I'm going to have interviews with every coach in the Pac-12, every student-athlete that we can get in the Pac-12. All schools will be represented, and hopefully we'll get our conversation with the commissioner of the Pac-12 as well. Now, one of the things they're talking about is how ugly the divorce will be and how the two sides there is no love lost between them. The Big 12 is not happy with Oklahoma and Texas. Pac-12 is really bitter with USC, UCLA. And one of the things Canizano pointed out today, you want to know the first instant snapback against the traitors and the backstabbers?
What's that?
Is that the athletic director of the University of California, Los Angeles, Jermon? It was his lifelong dream to be on the NCAA men's basketball committee. Within days of UCLA announcing they're bolting for the Big Ten, remember, it's a couple years before they go, he was instantly removed from the NCAA men's basketball committee and replaced by Dave Hickey. Pac-10 is not messing around. Pac-10 is not messing around. So we're going to hear more about that as we get ready for Pac-12 Media Day a week from today. This news just breaking. Vince McMahon, the man who made professional wrestling what it is stepping down, retiring as the CEO and president of the WWE. He's been under investigation, and there's been charges that he was paying hush money to various employees and women, and apparently the board has asked for his resignation or his retirement, or he's decided to retire one way or the other because the news is just breaking. He's leaving the WWE. You know what? If you think about it, Vince McMahon, I think there's a couple people that have influenced society in a major way in the last 20 years. You wonder who they are? For me, two of the people that I think have influenced society in a way that you wouldn't think unless you really sit down. One is Vince McMahon, and the other is Ryan Seacrest.
I can see Seacrest. I can see Seacrest and McMahon both being in there.
Ryan Seacrest gave us the Kardashians and trashy reality show celebrities. He also gave us American Idol. He's responsible for a large part of American Idol.
The competition shows, basically.
The competition shows, which people can be celebrities for just being YouTube stars. And now everybody wants to be a YouTube star. Think about this. Would we really have all these people on TikTok trying to get viral if it wasn't for something like American Idol and Ryan Seacrest? Probably not.
Not likely, no.
And if you think of Vince took Hulkamania, Say Your Prayers, Eat Your Vitamins, and then showed us a deeper, darker side of that. And as the WWE has helped reflect, in a way, change the values of American society, he's a big part of a lot of the things that you see. I'll give you one in sports. This is something that nobody ever gives him credit for. The cameras above the field. That was XFL. That was Vince McMahon. He gave it to NBC, and NBC spread it around the world. So Vince has left his mark in American society. Two more things I just saw that I want to throw out at you. Now I'm just going to give you one more. You don't drink, Dragon Ball, right?
I don't.
All right, I think I can entice you to start boozing.
Okay.
How would you like to try a Velveeta martini?
Okay, you're saying Velveeta as in like the cheese.
The cheese. A Velveeta martini.
No.
Velveeta infused a vodka that's mixed 24 hours prior to consumption, and then a glass with melted Velveeta cheese on the rim, and I don't know, whatever kind of garnishment they put in there. But a Velveeta martini.
Is this what you pair with a Kraft dinner? Like, what is this?
Maybe Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a Kraft dinner, which
I
is
don't know.
Kraft.
They're offering it, and the internet's blowing up on it. I think it sounds disgusting.
Yeah, this does not sound appealing in the slightest.
So I'm not going to get you to go boozing with me if I buy you Velveeta martinis?
Absolutely not.
For $15 a pop?
I will let you leave that in your car just to have it explode. I will let you leave that in the car so it explodes.
Hey,
I refuse to pull that out.
As long as we don't leave it next to Wander Franco's car safe. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, the dude, I'll throw this out. He's a player for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yep.
He was playing in the minor leagues. His car was broken into, and they stole $650,000 worth of jewelry from his car. First of all, who has $650,000 worth of jewelry?
No, hold on. Who has a safe in their car?
Okay, that's the other part. If I have a safe in my house, it keeps my things safe, hence the name safe. If I've got a safe in my car and I can steal the safe, it's really not that safe. Right?
No.
How do you have a safe in your car that someone could steal the safe? It's not very safe.
Yeah, if it's in the car, I would have to have it be installed into like the dashboard or something. If it's just sitting in the trunk, then no.
It's a safe that I can steal. It's not safe.
Yeah, no. There's no excuse for that.
All right, I'm going to break down this whole ESPN plus ESPN model, which could mean less distribution for the Pac-12 network, believe it or not, than you get on the Pac-12 network. We'll talk about that coming up. Bottom of the hour, our friend Todd Mckim joins us. We'll take a little preview of Cal football, and we'll ask him what the Cal Golden Bears think of all of this. I'm Rich Ferreira. That's Dragon Ball. It's a Friday. I got a Diet Coke. Hopefully it won't explode on me. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 have to go, steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Car. Don't leave sodas in your car. Got a phone call. Don't leave sodas in your car. And then the other part was, don't make people think that I'm mean. You're not mean, honey. You're just married to an idiot. You're speechless. Let's just move on.
I don't know how to go ahead and take that, because it's like I can't say that she's mean and be like, no, you're fine, Rich. She's the one. I can't say that.
No, because
I'm not going to
idiot.
go off and be like, well, Rich, yeah, that was pretty dumb. Like, I'm not going to add
I'm-
on to
I'm-
your self-depreciation.
I'm not a bright man. Okay? Can we just admit it right now? I'm not a bright man.
Get some facts and come back and see me.
Yeah, that's a fact right now. I'm not a bright man. I left a 12-pack of soda in the car when it's 110 degrees in Tucson, Arizona in July.
That wasn't over multiple days, was it?
No. It was just today.
Just today. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. At the very least,
Come
you didn't
after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
At least you
Come
didn't leave it
after
over
me.
multiple
I'm a
days.
man. I'm 40.
Yeah, I'm not that bright. All right, let's just move on. I wanted to share this with you. Okay, so here's the latest. And again, I'm trying to monitor everything. We'll hear from Todd Mckim from Cal Football coming up here in just a second. But this was an interesting thing that came out, and this is John Canizano talking to everybody. And again, I think he and Wilner are doing the best jobs. I wanted to share this with what he had out there. The Pac-12 is in negotiations right now with ESPN and with Fox. 30-day window. It expires right after Pac-12 Media Day. But Canizano's learned that ESPN has two buckets of money. There's ESPN, and then there's the ESPN streaming service. I saw something the other day. I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for probably 10 years, that cable TVs, we know it will be going away soon. Dragon Ball, do you have cable TV?
No.
I have cable TV, but I have streaming. I pay for streaming services. Eventually, cable TV will go away, and we'll just get everything off an app and off streaming services. I know that's coming. ESPN has 1 foot in traditional cable television, broadcast television, and they have 1 foot in ESPN Plus, which is their streaming, part of the Disney Plus bundle. So if you have Disney Plus like I do, so I can watch all the MCU movies on Disney Plus, and I watched all the Marvel TV shows and all. I'm a fanboy. I watch all of that. But I also have ESPN Plus, and I've got MLB TV, so I have all the streaming services that I need. Well, they have two different buckets of money. One, the traditional rights fees that you would get from ESPN, and then ESPN recaps a lot of that money because everybody that's got cable TV has to pay a subscriber carriage charge of, I think ESPN is one of the most expensive, like $1.25, I think, per subscriber. So, for me, I watch a lot of ESPN. For my next door neighbor who watches a lot of the Hallmark Channel, she pays for ESPN on her cable bundle whether she watches it or not, and I pay for her Hallmark Channel whether I watch it or not. Although I do like the show on Hallmark, Murder, She Baked. That's actually a cute Hallmark TV show. Shut up, I don't want to hear anything from you guys. Anyway, ESPN has two buckets of money, according to Canizano. One traditional, one streaming. It's not out of the realm of possibility, as our commissioner needs to get the Pac-12, which was figuring about $40 to $50 million in TV money for each school. Now it's somewhere in the $30 million mark. If he wants to try to get close to the 50, maybe to get to that $40 million mark to keep the conference together, he's going to have to be creative. Everybody's talked about Apple, which wants to get into the sports scene. Amazon Prime is getting into the sports scene already. There's a lot of people who want to get into that sports streaming service. If ESPN can add games on ESPN Plus and we strip all the college basketball and football games off the Pac-12 network, that might be enough to get you to that $40, $45 million mark. The problem with that is the cable penetration for ESPN Plus is so small, you'd actually have less distribution that you have on Pac-12 network. But it gets you the dollars, and that's the things that are going on behind the scenes right now, is the Pac-12 and ESPN and Fox are all negotiating on the new television package. I wanted to bring that along for you today because it's just another look at all this stuff that is just cray-cray. Todd Mckim is going to join us. He's one of the Cal football broadcasters, basketball broadcasters. We're going to get a little preview on the Cal Golden Bears, and we'll ask him what they're saying up in Berkeley about Pac-12 realignment. Brett Boone joins us top of the hour. We'll talk about the Hall of Fame and the All-Star Game. And then at 5 o'clock, folks, Chuck Cecil.
Exclusively on Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290. And our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out, the locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 to go, steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ball game. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're tied.
A huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon 5-man front, they shift, play fake, rolling right, McLeod looking to throw, going deep, down, trying to find Berryhill, makes the catch inside the 25-yard line, still loose inside the 15, first down Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball, he underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone, straight back to throw, has some time, steps up in the pocket, the Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Pulling
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear, they just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Show now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website wildcatsradio1290.com.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We continue with their summer tour of the Pacific 12 Conference as we get ready for football camp to start. We run out to our guest hotline. Joining us right now, a friend of the program, Cal broadcaster, does both football and men's basketball, Todd Mckim, joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Todd, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good, Rich. How about yourself?
I'm great. I'm ready for Pac-12 Media Day. I'm ready for everything that's going to go on for the Pac-12. It's a little different to have the Pac-12 atop the headlines. Probably not for the reasons you and I want, but there's going to be lots of interest this year.
Yeah, I think that Media Day is going to be awful interesting. Be the first opportunity for members of the media to really get more information and talk in detail with the coaches and maybe the athletic directors with USC and UCLA to see where they're at, what their expectations are, this, that, and the other. But probably be a little bit more attention on that meeting down in Southern California this year than in a lot of years in the past.
Give me from the Cal perspective, what is the buzz around Berkeley with all the realignment talk?
It's like, what the heck just happened? Why did it happen, and where do we go from here? And there's a lot of questions to be asked and very few answers to throw out on the table right now. So I think everybody was stunned. Certainly most stunned about UCLA and their defection to the Big Ten Conference. UCLA and Cal Berkeley, sister institutions in the UC system. And so I think that shocked everybody. And people are still unsure as to why it happened, other than the monetary reasons, how it happened, and certainly what in that world and how it's going to affect Cal going into the future.
Can you help explain to us? I've tried to, but I'm not a Cal guy. I'm not a UCLA guy. I wasn't smart enough to go to a UC school, but I've been talking to the fans here in Arizona about how the two institutions are really connected to one another, with the University of California period, residing in Berkeley, and everything else being a satellite campus, including the mighty Bruins of UCLA.
Yeah, that's exactly right. UC Berkeley was the first of the institutions, and UCLA and Cal have been, tied at the hip and the shoulder and everywhere else for all these years, and now they're going to be severed from a athletic standpoint 2 years from now. It'll be interesting to see what all the fallout might be. I know the UC Board of Regents talking about what to do, how it happened, why the secrecy of it all, how it will affect, particularly UC Berkeley going forward with their stadium debt, et cetera. Who's going to pick up that cost if they don't have the same amount of revenue coming in from television rights? So, it's hard to imagine those two schools being separated. But, by the same token, Rich, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Then you had a couple of years ago, Texas A&M left to go to the SEC conference. Nobody thought that would be possible, that the folks in Texas would never let that happen. Well, not only did they let that happen, but now they've let Texas go to the SEC as well. So it's just you just never know what's going to happen next. And, money's driving all of this. It's obviously the reason for the move by USC and UCLA. So the money talks, and apparently at this point in time, UCLA's got, monetary bragging rights over the University of California, Berkeley.
Todd Mckim joining us right now, broadcaster for Cal, does football and men's basketball. All right, can we put on our old man pants right now? We pull them all the way up past our bellies and talk about back in the good old days. Talk to me about why you love the old Pac-10, now Pac-12 conference. What makes this conference so special?
Well, it's been the rivalries. Obviously, you got some of the best rivalries in college athletics out here. You got, as you guys know down there, the Wildcats and the Sun Devils. That one goes back a long way. And that one might be actually, in my opinion, the most heated of all the rivalries in the conference as it's currently configured. Obviously, USC, UCLA, two teams in the same town. There's a rivalry there. You got Cal, Stanford, kind of the wine and cheese rivalry of the conference. Oregon and Oregon State is interesting because, in my opinion, having covered Oregon and Oregon State for 26, 27 years up here in the Pacific Northwest, that those two rivals, probably it's not as fierce as Oregon's rivalry is with Washington, believe it or not. And then you have Washington and Washington State. They go at it pretty good as well. But I think the Arizona schools have the most vitriol of the six rivalries. I think Cal and Stanford might have the least amount of vitriol. But to me, it's the rivalries and the great traditions over the years. I mean, you got programs that have been at the top of their respective sports over the years for a long time. USC in football, and certainly UCLA in basketball, and now you have Oregon has come up and is very strong in all the sports. But it's just a pleasure to go up and down the conference. You have this wide diversity in weather. You have the wide diversity in small markets versus big markets. So it's just a very versatile and exciting conference, and I just hate to see it being broken up.
Speaking of the big game, and that's one of the fun things is, listen, you can have the Red River Shootout, you can have the Territorial Cup, but there's only one big game, and that's Cal and Stanford, and they both can do give them the axe right in the neck, and they play for that axe. Describe what the big game is like for Cal and Stanford fans, because like you said, it's not heated. Nobody's going to be getting into a fist fight at Stickney's across from Stanford Stadium, and I'm not going to get into a fist fight and shoving people's at Blondie's Pizza as I make my way up to Strawberry Canyon. But they do a pretty good rivalry for the big game.
They do, and it's a great rivalry. It's one of the longest running rivalries in college football. I think it's 6th or 7th in the country. So you're going back to the late 1800s for that rivalry and the axe. And of course, you have arguably the greatest play in the history of college football, and this is going to be the 40th anniversary of the play, famously called by our announcer Joe Starkey. So you got one of the greatest plays in the history of sports. You've got this rivalry between two outstanding academic institutions. The one thing that's been lacking, Rich, over the years, and certainly on a consistent basis, is for that game to mean a lot on a national level. Stanford's been good at various times. Cal has been good at various times. But very seldom have both teams been good at the same time, and very seldom has that game meant the Rose Bowl berth, as it has with some of the other rivalries. So that's probably the one thing that's been missing over the years, Rich. But it's a great rivalry. People are passionate about the rivalry, and I just enjoy. I've been involved in a couple of rivalries over the years. USC, UCLA when I was in Southern California, Oregon and Oregon State when I was in the state of Oregon, and Stanford and California. They're all different, but this one between the two academic powers on the West Coast is really special.
I've been lucky enough to go to all three of the Southern rivalries. Arizona State. I've been to the Territorial Cup. I've been to USC, UCLA, and I've been to the big game. My grandparents worked for a rancher that was a Stanford alumni, and if we were lucky, he'd give us Stanford tickets. So I grew up going to Stanford games and was lucky enough to go to the big game a couple times as a kid. And it is something special, the rivalries that we have in the Pacific 12 Conference. We're talking with Todd Mckim right now, our friend, Cal football broadcaster. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Cal Golden Bears. Coach Wilcox could have gone to Oregon, says, nope, I'm going to stay right here. That's a huge statement for Coach Wilcox. And everything I've read and everything he said, he thinks the Cal Golden Bears are on the cusp of doing something really special.
He does believe that. There were other considerations as well. I think the cultural difference between how things are done in the two programs probably played a role in his decision as well. And also, he's a favorite son. He'd be like the prodigal son coming home to Eugene. He grew up in Junction City, just north of Eugene. Obviously, he was an outstanding football player, played defensive back for the Ducks at Oregon. And sometimes there is that lure to do that, but the other side of the equation is, if you take the job at Oregon and you only win 8 games, you might be on a rail out of town, too, because the expectations are a little bit different. But I think he truly, honestly believes that he can get it done at Cal. You got a contract extension, you got a pay raise, you got pay raises for his assistants, you got additional help vis-a-vis the academic side and some of the other behind-the-scenes things that you have to have in a top-notch program. So the administration and the alumni and the boosters stepped up big time to retain him. And I'm excited to see what they can do this year. That most of the pundits have them as a 500 team or maybe even sub-500. But I think they're better than a lot of people think. But to prove that, they got to get it done on the field. And I'm excited to see what happens in fall camp with the quarterback situation, offensive line. I think the defense will be one of the top 3 or 4 in the league again. I think it'll actually be better than last year. And I think the wide receiver core has much more talent than they've had probably in 6, 7, 8 years since, they had Brian Treggs and some guys like that were really good. They had six wide receivers on the team that ended up playing in the NFL. But I think the group they have in now, although it's inexperienced, Rich, I think has a wealth of talent. So I'm excited to see what happens.
I think Roxy Bernstein probably had something to do with it, talking to Justin Wilcox, telling him, please stay at Cal, please stay at Cal. I think that was the deciding factor on him keeping the Cal job. Todd Mckim joining us right now, Cal football broadcaster. You talk about the inexperience, and I'm going to use that word sparingly because there was some depth that Cal had last year, 22 starters, only 8 are back, none in the skill position set. But like you said, at quarterback, Jack Plummer comes in for Purdue. There will be a little bit of a quarterback battle because the quarterback you had last year seemed like he had 16 years of eligibility, and he was the dean of quarterbacks in the Pac-12.
Yeah, Chase Garbers, who missed the game in Tucson last year. He was one of those players that tested positive for COVID and was unable to play against the Wildcats in that thrilling 10-7 game down in Tucson. And he's with the Raiders now. He's in their camp. They started training camp today, so wish Chase all the best. A great kid. He had some phenomenal games. He won. I mean, how many guys that quarterbacked Cal over the years beat USC twice, beat Oregon, beat Stanford, won the Axe twice, beat the Huskies. I mean, not many quarterbacks can put that on their resume from Cal. So he had a good career. And now Plummer comes in, and Plummer started at Purdue, so he's played a lot of games. He got replaced by a guy who, according to their head coach, had a generational accurate arm. He was that good, and so Plummer lost the starting job midway through last year. So, but it all starts in the offensive line. You got to be productive up front. You got to be able to move some people in the run game. You have to protect in the pass game. And to me, that's the real key of this season. I think Plummer is more than adequate as a quarterback, but he's going to need some help in a revamped offensive line to get it done.
A lot like the University of Arizona, a young offensive line for Cal and an offensive line for the Arizona Wildcats. It's going to have to be able to protect Jaden DeLaura, whoever starts for the Arizona Wildcats. Last year I look at the record, 5-7 overall, 4-5. The one loss to the University of Arizona, and I want to talk about that in just a second. But I noticed of all the losses, there weren't blowouts. Cal was in all the games. I think 5 of the 7 losses were by a touchdown or less. So this was a team. Jed Fish says you lose big, you lose little, you win big. It seems like this is a team that was losing little, and if they could just get one more touch or get that last score, they'll learn how to win little, which will mean they'll get a chance to win big soon.
And most of those losses, Rich, came early in the year. You look at a game at TCU, came down to one play. You look at the game at Washington, Cal fumbles going in for the tying touchdown in overtime.
Yeah.
You look at the game against Oregon and Eugene, and the Ducks. They probably struggled more against Cal than they struggled against anybody other than Utah in this league in recent years. That came down to the final play in regulation with a chance to tie. So, yeah, you're exactly right. Close games. But, you've got to win those. You can say ifs, ands, and buts or candies and nuts, but you got to find ways to win those close games. You never know which play in the game is going to make the difference. So that's going to be the key this year for Cal. Is I think with their defense, they should be in most of their games. They have a home schedule where they play Washington, they play Oregon, they play UCLA, Stanford at home. Those are big games in our conference, certainly in the division in the North. So you need to find a way to win a couple of those. And if you do, all of a sudden, you're in the chase, in my opinion.
All right. Let's go to the game that saved the season for the University of Arizona. And it's kind of a funny way to put it, but the 10-7 win over the Arizona Wildcats, you were there on the field. Let's talk about that game a little bit because we had Stanley Berryhill III, and you remember him. He had that big return to help seal the deal for the Arizona Wildcats. But, he was talking to us before he left for camp with the Falcons that a lot of fans are saying, Cal, they were so depleted. They lost everybody. He was pointing out Arizona had some things to overcome with their quarterback who went twice. His hand exploded. He was beat up. I mean, this was two teams that were trying to find a way to win. Both of them hamstrung, depleted, beat, bruised, and shorthanded. Talk to us about that game from the Cal perspective.
Well, first of all, I want to say, congratulations to Jed Fish and his program because they got up for that game. They believed they could win, and they found a way to win. And that's not easy to do when you've won 20-some in a row or lost 20-some in a row. That's not easy to do, okay? So credit goes to Arizona for winning that football game. Now, from the Cal perspective, when you don't have 10 starters, you don't have your quarterback who's taken every snap during the course of the season, and you're missing 10 support staff, including coaches. You got GAs on the sidelines that are the coaches, so that makes it difficult. That shouldn't be an excuse. You still got to put 11 guys on the field at any given time, but the quarterback Glover had not taken a snap the whole year long, and he probably had, when I look back at the tape in that game, he probably had 4 touchdown passes that he missed. But you got to make those, okay? If you're on scholarship in a Division I football program, you better be able to make a couple of those, and he didn't. And Arizona's defense did a phenomenal job, and they were opportunistic offensively. They got the score, and they got ahead, and they found a way to run it out at the end. So, from a Cal standpoint, very disappointing because that game cost them a chance to go to a bowl game. Instead of being 5-7, maybe they're 6-6. You got a little different spin on things if you're in a bowl game in postseason. But, credit goes to Arizona, in my estimation, and certainly did a lot to give the alumni, the fans, the players, and the coaches, confidence as a little bit of a springboard into this season.
I've been a sideline reporter for a long time, and I've been there a couple of times when the kids rushed the field. I was at the Horseshoe doing a game once when I think it was Ohio State beat Iowa to clinch their position to go to the Rose Bowl, and all the kids run onto the field. It's exhilarating. It's a little scary, and I got the heck out of there. For you, what was that like when the Zona Zoo stormed the field?
Well, fortunately, they were on the other side of the field, okay? So my responsibility at that point in time is to get into the locker room, set up the headset and the microphone to get ready to do the post-game interview with the coach. So, but I did stand around and watch that because it's kind of the fun part of college athletics to see the excitement of the fans, in particular the students, and obviously the players as well in that situation. So you take that in for a while, and I've been like you. I've been on the field in those mosh pits where Cal beat Stanford at Stanford the last 2 times, and you're getting jostled around. And so what I've learned, Rich, is that you step aside. Okay?
Quickly.
You get out of the way. You go find a secure spot that's on the way to the locker room because eventually the players have got to go to the locker room. So you head down to that end of the field, and you do what you have to do to maintain your safety. I mean, I was at the game where Cal defeated Washington in Memorial Stadium, and Marshawn Lynch got on the golf cart. You've probably seen video of that. Went crazy. And I didn't know it at the time. I was out, looking for some interviews, and all of a sudden here comes Marshawn, and it's like, man, you got to get the heck out of here really quick because who knows what he was going to do. So you got to be a little careful in those situations. Get away from the mosh pit as much as you can, and preserve your own safety, and then, do your interviews when you can do them.
Arizona starts with San Diego State on the road, then 2 home games against Mississippi State, North Dakota State. We're looking through the schedule. I'm circling this one, and I'm wondering if the Cal Golden Bears feel the same way. After last year's game, so close, so many people hurt, so many people beat up, Arizona comes to town on September 24th. Is this going to be an important game for the Cal Golden Bears, thinking of what happened last year?
I'm not sure, Rich, how much last year factors into things like that. There's going to be a little bit of that. It's certainly going to be part of the storyline leading up to the game itself. But to be honest with you, the importance of it for Cal is it's the first conference game of the year for both teams, right? That's
right.
A big deal. You want to get off to a good start in conference play. If you have bowl aspirations for either one of these two programs, that becomes a really important game. You talked about Arizona's schedule and non-conference schedule. That's pretty difficult in my estimation. Okay, you're looking at a couple of really good programs that have good talent. And then Cal has to come off a game at Notre Dame.
Right.
And the next game is Arizona. So it is a huge game because for the biggest reason in my estimation, Rich, because it's the first conference game of the year.
Wow, that's some good stuff right there. Hey, Todd, I'm sorry I don't get to see you this year because I don't travel with the team, and we're going up to Cal. I'd like to go to Blondie's. I'd like to go into San Francisco and go to Tommy's Joint and all my favorite haunts, but Brian Jeffries will be up there, and Lamont and our whole crew, and Dana Cooper, and I know you guys will take care of them when they come to town, but hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you the week of the Arizona-Cal game.
I hope so as well. Give me a buzz. Be glad to talk football, and we'll have a little bit of perspective on both of the teams after 3 weeks of the season going into that fourth weekend.
Todd, I so appreciate you coming on the program with me. Thank you so much. I'll catch up with you soon.
You got it, Rich. Take care.
All right, take care. Todd Mckim joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. All right, coming up on the program. Oh, you're going to want to hear this. Brett Boone will join us. He's up in Seattle today. We'll talk a little baseball. This is a little preview of what I'm going to have on CBS Sports Radio tonight. But then I have a little bonus edition for you. I kept the tape rolling when I sat down and talked with them today. He had a chance to catch up with Bill Walton. You're going to want to hear Boone's reaction.
Exclusive. This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down, and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Follow grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellis. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Rare. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a
tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps out of the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big time.
Early on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert, they just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
was on a pretty fast track. It just kind of puts things into perspective. So, yeah, from an early age, I knew that Ken Griffey Jr. is definitely something special, once in a lifetime, once in a generation type talent.
You were an all-star multiple times, and then, there's guys that are MVPs of the league, and then there's the Ken Griffey Jr.'s. What's the difference between an all-star and an MVP and a Hall of Famer?
Well, I think the MVP, that's one thing. That could be a particular year. You look at the epitome of the MVP award. That was Barry Bonds. He won 7 of them. I mean, that's a different level all in itself. But there's I think you hit on it well. There's certain levels. There's the good player. There's the all-star caliber player, perennial all-star, and then there's that perennial MVP. An MVP, a one-off, that's one thing, but that perennial guy that's in that conversation year in and year out. A modern day guy like that would be Mike Trout. I mean, every year you talk, he's going to be a top 10, top 5 MVP candidate if he doesn't actually win the award. So there is definitely different levels. You can tell. And when it comes down to this Hall of Fame, it being Hall of Fame weekend, there's always that discussion. Should he be in? Should he not be in? And then we break it down and we go to numbers, and you're comparing numbers. And then it gets a little tricky because you're comparing numbers from generation to generation. I think my definition of a Hall of Famer, first and foremost, when you play against them, there's something different about them. You just automatically in your mind go, that's a Hall of Famer right there, numbers aside. But it gets tricky when you're breaking down the generations. Does this fit with this generation? No. So I've simplified it for myself. You take the generation that you played in. You take the full pool of players that played in that generation. Did you dominate your position for a good amount of time? That's what a Hall of Famer is. Were you the top guy at your position for 5, 6, 7 years in a row? If so, for me, you're a Hall of Fame type player. But the ones that stand out, the Griffeys, the Mike Trouts, the obvious Hall of Famers. Derek Jeter was an obvious Hall of Famer, not only from a statistical standpoint, but it was something about him. He's Derek Jeter. Of course he is. That goes without saying. It just gets trickier when those guys, you're not quite sure. For me, one of those guys, and I came full circle on it, was Mike Mussina. They said, oh, Mike Mussina is going to the Hall of Fame. And I just thought, well, I didn't necessarily. I always knew Mike was a great pitcher, but necessarily for me, he wasn't an automatic Hall of Famer. Then I looked at his numbers, his body of work, and I turned full circle and I said, without a doubt, Mike Mussina is a Hall of Famer. Next thing you know, he's in the Hall of Fame. So it's an interesting. It's not a flawless system, but it's something that causes debate year in and year out.
We're talking with Brett Boone, our guest right now. So Booney, do you have any? Can you give me an example of Junior where you maybe have an anecdote or a story or something where you could tell us this is why he's a Hall of Famer? Something you saw him do?
What didn't I see him do? That was the thing. And Jay Buhner, I refer to him again because Jay and Kenny were the best of friends. I mean, those two, they just kind of went together. They're opposites. They're polar opposites when it comes to personality. But for whatever reason, when they came together in Seattle, they just became really tight. And Jay used to tell me, sit on the bench. And Jay, at the time when I got to the big leagues, was a veteran player. And he'd say, watch Kenny. Watch what he does. This guy can do anything he wants. And he would. I mean, he would turn it on, turn it off. And we'd be having conversations, and I'd be sitting in the clubhouse, and Edgar Martinez was kind of a mentor to me, kind of the guy I looked to from the hitting standpoint. And we'd be breaking down pitchers, the game that night, what we were going to look for, what our approach was going to be. And Kenny would walk by. He was just a kid at the time. We're 23 years old. He's got his hat on backwards, not a care in the world, walking through the clubhouse and almost in a fun way, mocking us for preparing for the game. And kind of like, hey, Booney, Edgar, what are you doing? Trying to break down what he's going to throw you tonight. And I'd say, Kenny, what do you got tonight? Because I was just getting into the league. I said, give me my approach to this guy pitching for Toronto tonight, as an example. And he'd just look at me, laugh, give me that smile, and go, Booney, make it simple, man. I just see ball, hit ball. And Edgar would look at me and go, listen, no, me and you need to prepare. That guy, he's in a different world. So it's just little subtleties like that differentiate.
Well, you've told me the story about the time that Lou Piniella had you run upstairs and go get Ken during a game.
Oh, unbelievable.
Tell that. Can you share that story?
I'll tell it really quick. It was, I'm 20. I just got to the big leagues. I don't, my head's spinning. I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to prove to Lou Piniella that I'm a big leaguer and I deserve to be here. So we're in the dugout and we're getting ready for first pitch. I think I'm hitting sixth. I've already got my helmet on. That's how green I was. I'm hitting sixth. I got my helmet on and they haven't even finished the national anthem yet. And Lou looks at me, he called all of us the same thing, son. And he looked at me, he goes, hey, son. He goes, where's your buddy Junior? I said, Skip, it's really not my place to take care of what, I'm not babysitting Kenny today. I had that relationship with Lou. And he goes, well, I said, but I'll tell you what, I saw him up in his locker and he was watching cartoons about a half hour ago. And he was DHing that day. Normally, obviously, he played center field, but Lou was giving him the day to DH and give him a blow from playing defense. And he said, will you do me a favor, kid, and run up and go get your buddy? So I ran up to the locker room. Sure enough, I see Kenny in the same spot. He's sitting there, feet kicked up, no shoes on, no jersey, or if he had a jersey, it was unbuttoned. And I wake him up. And, we've all been woken up when we miss that alarm clock. We have an important place to be. And that panic mode that sets in. Well, that's the first time I ever saw Junior panic. And I waked him up. I said, we got a game, man. And he went, oh, jumped up, grabbed whatever he had to grab, ran down. And this is at Old Arlington Park in Texas, not even the new one, but not even the one before this recent one. It was the Old Arlington. So there was a bit of a hike to get to the visiting dugout from the visiting locker room. You had to go under the grandstands. Anyway, he's running down because he's hitting third. I'm hitting sixth or seventh. I forget what I was that day. He gets into the dugout. I follow him down there. And Lou looks at him and said, son, what the hell are you doing? He goes, sorry, Skip. I fell asleep. He's buttoning his shirt. He's got his shoes on. They're untied, putting his batting gloves on. Omar Vizquel, I believe, is hitting second. He's in the box during his at-bat. So the game has already started. Kenny moseys on deck. Just as that happens, I think Omar hits a double, if I remember. I could be wrong. So Kenny doesn't even get to go to the on-deck circle and warm up. He's got his shoes untied. He walks into Ken Griffey Jr., gets into the box, hits the first pitch about 20 rows deep in right center. Buhner, of course, is sitting right next to me going, see, that's what I'm talking about. He does stuff like that all the time. He circles the bases. He comes back in. Lou's sitting there with kind of that disheveled look that Lou's famous for. And Kenny looks at Lou and goes, hey, Skip, can I go back to what I was doing? And he threw his arms up. He goes, son, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. And Kenny went back up to the locker room. Who knows what he did, but those are the things as a young Ken Griffey Jr. that I got to witness that, I can tell stories about it now as I get a little bit older, this younger generation that want to know, hey, how good was Griffey? And I remember just, several of those stories, but he was pretty phenomenal.
Brett Boone joining us right now on CBS Sports Radio. You can check out the Boone podcast. Again, nice plug today in in the New York Times, talking about how great your podcast is. Actually, let's stay with Seattle for just a second, because I know you're up in Seattle this weekend. It's a big to-do up in Seattle. They're going to get ready for next year's All-Star game, but it's a huge series for the Mariners. They have an opportunity to go on a big run this weekend. They've got Houston in, so there's all kinds of excitement for the Seattle Mariners, who have been reborn right before the break.
Yeah, I've been up here for a few days, and this is a special place for me. I consider myself a Seattle Mariner. I had my best years here. Some really great teams in the early 2000s, and this was a time when Safeco, now T-Mobile Park, was brand new, and we had gotten out of the Kingdome and into the new stadium, and we had a really good team. Obviously, in 2001, we won 116 games. I've never seen anything like it. I've been on a lot of great teams and had some pretty phenomenal years, but there was nothing like that particular season. It's like we were on a magic carpet ride. And this city was just on fire, sold out night in and night. I mean, it'd be Monday night against the Kansas City Royals, and there'd be 47,000. And it was just, a feeling that I had before we took the field each and every night that was never replicated any other time in my career, where it was just that rock star, like there was a rock concert about to start every night. And it's been a long time since those days at the ballpark have been like that. I think you can go to a Seahawk game and get a similar feeling, that electricity, that's something you can't quite put your finger on it, but you're somewhere special. Just walking around the city this week with the recent 14-game win streak these Mariners have gone on and have put themselves, today, Rich, if the season were to end, the Seattle Mariners would be in the postseason for the first time in 21 years. I know it seems ridiculous, 21 years, but this city is well aware of that. And this 14-game streak, 15 tonight would tie our 2001 record where we won 15 in a row. But the city's buzzing, and it's pretty cool. Usually I come up here, do some PR for the Mariners time to time, and it's something we do as ex-players. Always look forward to it, but nothing particularly special. I'm actually really looking forward to going to the game tonight. I'm getting to raise the logo for next year's All-Star game, which is going to be at T-Mobile Park, and I get to throw out the first pitch. But, that's kind of a subplot for what's really going on. For the first time, they're sold out. They're playing the mighty Houston Astros that have been atop that division for 4, 5, 6 years now. Verlander's on the hill for them tonight. Seattle's going for 15 in a row. This city's on fire. I'm really looking forward to it because for the first time, I'm going to be at the ballpark where it's going to take me back to those early 2000s and how special this city was. So I'm actually really looking forward to tonight. It's going to be a fun time, and I'm really actually pulling for them to win 15 in a row. That is not a big deal to that 2001 team. It seems like that year we had 10-game winning streaks every other week, so that wasn't a big deal for us. I'd love to see them do it. I think it's great for the city, and more importantly, going into this season, we had a breakdown of what was going to happen, and I predicted that the Seattle Mariners, for the first time in 21 years, would reach the postseason. So I'm feeling a little bit better about that prediction than I was a month ago. Really looking forward to the game tonight.
Brett Boone, our guest here on CBS Sports Radio. Real quick, we got about a minute. You also get a chance to see the Astros. They just ended up playing your brother's team as we started the second half of the season. It's kind of boiling down to the two best teams in the American League, the New York Yankees and the Houston Astros.
Yeah, Yankees obviously have had an unbelievable first half. We're on a pretty darn good pace to challenge that 116 wins now, talking about the Mariners. But this Astro team, really good. I think there's two elite teams in the AL. You just mentioned them, Yankees and Houston. But Houston's the only team I've seen out there that have given the Yankees some fits. They've gotten the better of them in the times they've hooked up this year. It's going to be a battle. And yesterday, right after the break, Yankees going into the break with two big wins to finish, just got handed two losses yesterday. So the Astros are feeling pretty good about themselves. With all the hype around the Yankees this first half, I think the Astros are trying to make a point that, hey, we're just as good as the Yankees. It's going to be a great battle for them. But more importantly, I want to see the Mariners take care of business tonight with the Astros. The one time that I'm kind of a little bit biased when I'm doing the analyzation of the two teams. It's going to be a battle for them, but this Houston team's for real.
Brett Boone joining us here on CBS Sports Radio. Don't forget, check out his podcast wherever you get your and download your podcast. By the way, who have you had on?
We did a fun one last night. Something I wasn't prepared. I had no idea what to expect, but we had the great Bill Walton on, and he's definitely a character. You know, I had a tough time reeling him in. It was fun to listen. It seems that you ask Bill Walton a question, you don't know where it's headed, and I found out that in real time last night. That's out today. And I just did a fun one with Greg Amsinger. He's the host of MLB Network. Oh, great. Fascinating. We went behind the scenes on his journey How did he get to be the kind of the face? You know, they talk about Harold Reynolds being the face of MLB Network, but Greg's definitely kind of the quarterback, kind of the point guard of that station. He's the one that runs the show, and it was really interesting, and you really find out how much he really loves what he does, how passionate he is about the games, the little quirks, the behind the scenes stuff. Something interesting. I think fans would really like it. I was definitely. I enjoyed listening to it, the backstory. So those are the next two coming out next week. We got Fred Lynn and the great Anthony Munoz of the Bengals. So we're rocking and rolling at the Boone Podcast. Keep it going.
All right. Hey, listen, folks in Tucson, this a little special extra. I'm going to give you a little lanyard. They call that a baker's dozen, a little extra. Boone, you still there, right?
I'm still here.
All right. So, folks, that was for the national show. But I do have to go just a little bit more in depth with Brett. Bill Walton. I love Bill Walton, but you either love him or you hate him. There's no in between. We watch him all the time out here on Pac-12 Network and all the Arizona games and all the games that he calls out here. You got a chance to experience what Dave Pasch and Roxy Bernstein get on a daily basis. Give me your thoughts of sitting down and spending an hour and a half with Bill Walton.
I'm still soaking it in. You know, last night I had a busy day up here in Seattle. I was running around doing a bunch of odds and ends for the Mariners. And once my day was ended at 6:00, we had the 6:30 Bill Walton interview. And I prepared for it, and I've talked to you, Rich, quite at length, and you're pretty well versed on Bill Walton, his personality. You've seen him a lot, you've interviewed him, and you kind of gave me a little bit of a heads up what to expect. But I don't know. I've done a lot of these podcasts now. We've done over 200. I've had a lot of different personalities across the spectrum. But you were right. I didn't know what to expect. It was the first guest that ever interrupted me when I was trying to announce who was coming on the podcast. He didn't want to hear it. He wanted to jump into Bill Walton. And the next thing you know, I'm saying the two-time NBA champion, and all of a sudden I got interrupted, and we were talking about the Grateful Dead right out of the chute. And I'd ask a question, and it seemed like a half hour later we had covered 8 or 9 different genres, and I was learning about space technology. So it was really interesting, entertaining as heck. I didn't get to all my questions. We went about an hour and a half, but it was definitely worth the listen. Really interesting guy, and you know, he'll give you some perspective on things that you didn't know you need to have perspective on. So definitely an interesting guest.
Oh, I mean, listen, like I said, he's an acquired taste. Some people love him. Some people hate him. I like him. I like listening to Bill Walton. I'll tune in just to see where he's going, because it's like a car whose brakes got cut and you never know where it's going to go because they can't stop.
It was unbelievable. Like I said, I mean, I'd asked him a question about John Wooden and that great run he had at UCLA. He didn't want to talk about his personal accolades.
Oops! It looks like we dropped Booney. That's okay. He's up in Seattle, getting ready for the game tonight. He's going to be hoisting the logo for the All-Star game they'll have next year. So we'll catch up with Booney next week on the program as well. All right, we'll continue with you. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rich Herrera, exclusively on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Speedway near Campbell, collision clearing on Speedway to the east of Campbell. Also still clearing is Tangerine and First in Oro Valley. Tangerine and First Avenue. Some slowdowns for travel headed northbound Nogales Highway at Los Reales, and a little busy for 22nd Street and Park Avenue. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Try Taco Bell's new cheesy double beef burritos now. A melty 3-cheese blend with nacho cheese sauce and double the seasoned beef in classic and spicy. At participating stores for a limited time while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra. Double the seasoned beef as compared to beefy melt burrito.
Hey, Scott Lehman here from Premier Auto Center. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
I'm Scott Lehman, and I'm a dealer for the people.
What's next for the Pac-12 after the defections of USC and UCLA? Can the Pac-12 survive? Stay locked on to 1290 for all the latest news and what it means to Wildcats fans. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Eugene, I noticed you're wearing an inner tube.
No, Doug, it's my MPFSD, Monsoon Personal Safety Flotation Device.
Really? Your next great invention. And let me guess, ticket to becoming the next interweb millionaire, right?
Good guess. How'd you know?
Dumb luck, no doubt. So if you run with this, you really should call Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. They've got a ginormous selection of tires and tubes for just about everything. And their prices are the lowest in town.
Oh, and free installation too, right?
Of course. Jack Furrier's advertised price on tires always includes the needed installation services, which is like a $95 savings in most cases. But Eugene, you were able to put that inner tube on by yourself.
Well, yeah, but now I can't find the valve stem.
Yeah, good luck with that, Eugene. Let's all be as careful as possible while driving during monsoon months, huh? If your car or truck needs a little extra tread, give Jack Furrier's a call. Stop by or make an appointment online. Our one low price and huge in-stock selection have made Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care the local's choice for tires and auto repair since 1960. Here to get you there.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching. But a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This summer, as prices are heating up, Royal Kia has your back. We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but when you buy at Royal, you can rest assured that we aren't increasing the price of your new vehicle just because inventory is limited. That's right. At Royal Kia, there are no market adjustments. Plus, Royal wants your trade. Trade-ins are in high demand and fetching higher prices than ever, which means you can get a great deal on a new Kia, like the 2023 Kia Forte LXS, leasing for only $199 per month for 36 months with $2,900 due at signing. Yep, a new Kia for $199 per month. Come see how enjoyable it is to buy a new car at Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. Sale ends 8/1/22. See dealer for details. Stock number K27338. No security deposit. Mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $489 dock fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Wildcat Nation, the desert is rising. Arizona football is rising. The energy on the field is rising. The excitement in the stands is rising. The Wildcats are rising. The time is now. Rise with us. Go to ArizonaWildcats.com/FB for tickets or call 520-621-CATS.
Why are there so many options to listen to Wildcats Radio 1290? Like Amazon Alexa and Google Nest smart speakers. Well, to be honest, they asked to carry the best sports station in town, and we didn't want to hurt their feelings.
On the home of the Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rich Herrera on Wildcats Radio 1290.
That's my boy, Brent Boone. The podcast is out, by the way, with Bill Walton.
Yeah, he was saying that that's already out there right
It's
now.
out.
So
It went out this morning. And I listened to it. I listened to the raw audio.
Oh, no.
So he goes, Welcome to the Boone Podcast. Joining us right now is a two-time NBA champion, and then Bill just took over. And if you thought Bill runs over Dave Pasch and Roxy Bernstein, he just went on and he starts talking and telling stories. And I don't know how he got from here to there.
Right.
So he just keeps going, and he's talking about his junior high coach, his high school coach. He starts talking about doctors at UC San Diego. He starts talking about, he just goes everywhere. He's talking about Helix High. He went to the same high school as Chuck Cecil, who, by the way, joins us at 5 o'clock today and will officially name him Tucson's top cat as voted by the listeners of Wildcats Radio 1290. So he just keeps going and going and going. And I think I think everybody knows. I talk about it. I'm kind of proud of the podcast that Brett does, and he and I are really good friends. And I help work on it with him. I help him prep and give him ideas and feedback and such. We've known each other for a couple of years now, so we've gotten to be quite good friends. But just watching Bill just steamroll him at one point, he goes, wait a minute, I've got a question I want to ask. It was pretty funny. So he gets a chance to see what Roxy gets every week.
Now, just thinking of that and how that probably went, all I could think of for poor Brett is just like, I wasn't the guest today, was I?
No. He goes, I didn't even say anything. I just wound up and let go. And I said, that's kind of like what it is when you watch him do the games with Roxy.
Right.
Roxy will you wind him up and let him go. And I've worked with guys like that. It's fun. But you have to get out of the way.
That being said, the only thing I would want to ask Bill Walton in relation to just his time as one of the better, personalities for commentary and basketball today and stuff like that, I would just ask him, what possessed you to eat the cupcake with the lit candle on it?
Because he's Bill Walton.
What possessed you to do that?
He had a great story, and this we hadn't even got to. And by the way, in the podcast, Bill does not like talking about himself.
No.
He doesn't want to hear, you were 3-time college basketball player of the year. You were 2-time NBA champion. He wants to talk about everybody else. And he does go into great detail about Coach Wooden and Coach Wooden's wife, Nellie, who was really, the support structure for Coach Wooden. And that's really, really kind of cool. He talks about his dad and his mom, and they had a band with his brother who played for the Dallas Cowboys. It is crazy. It is crazy. Just wind him up and let him go. And I think Bill is I tell people this when they complain about Bill, that, you know what? There's no two Bill Waltons. Nope. Bill Walton is the same on and off the microphone. And then the one thing that he said, Marty Glickman, who, if you're old school, you'll know was one of those classic New York announcers. Right? So there's all those classic New York announcers like Mel Allen and Marty Glickman. And Glickman was, I could do hours and hours and hours on Marty Glickman. But he was the one who sat down with Bill. And this is well chronicled. Bill had a stuttering problem until he was 28. He couldn't speak. So Marty Glickman's the one who sat down with him and worked with him and convinced him to tackle the problem and learn how to overcome your stuttering. And this is the best story. He's talking about Marty Glickman and how he passed away, and then Coach Wooden was giving an interview with a writer who was going to write the story and the obituary of Marty Glickman, and he talked about all the great things that Marty Glickman had done. And then he said, and then the one thing that I'm really upset about with Marty Glickman is that he's the one who taught Bill Walton how to speak. But what really makes me mad is he didn't teach him how to shut up. And then Coach Wooden hung up the phone. That was it. So anyway, thanks to Boone for joining us up in Seattle tonight. It's a big honor for him. He's gonna throw out the first pitch, and then he's raising the banner. So they have the flag for the 2023 All-Star Game, which will be at Safeco T-Mobile Park. So Brett will be there along with Mike Cameron. They're going to raise the banner, and then he's immediately going to run to go to throw out the first pitch. So he'll be featured as a VIP tonight in Seattle as they take on the Houston Astros. Do I have time for this real quick?
Yeah.
We have your headlines. You know what? You tell me this all the time that I'm grumpy, right?
Right.
Which I don't think is true. I think you're just being mean to me. But I was looking, we got to do some more. We need to talk about more positive things. Like, there's too much negative in the world, right? Like, you know that internet rumor that's running around out there about me? You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen it?
No.
I just, listen, I'm not allowed to talk about it. I cannot confirm nor deny the rumor out there on the internet that people are saying that I was the body double for Chris Hemsworth. Is that his name, right? Hemsworth?
Hemsworth, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, people are saying, there's a rumor out there that Rich Herrera is the body double for Hemsworth in the nude scene in Thor, where they kind of pixelated his rear end.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot confirm nor deny, because you can't see the face of the person, you just see the body, and I cannot confirm or deny that I was the body double for Chris Hemsworth.
Right.
I will just tell you, the week that they shot the movie, maybe I was here, maybe I wasn't.
Cannot confirm nor deny.
When you have all of this, right?
Right. You got to share it.
I think it's only right that I will. I saw something. I want to bring something. Can I share a good story, like a feel-good Friday story?
Go for it.
I saw this, and I thought, you know what? All I ever do is whine and complain, and I get mad at things. Like, I was making fun of Wander Franco having $650,000 stolen from a safe in his car, which wasn't very safe. So it's easy to rip on people all the time. That's what we seem to do. Like, I saw a quote from Mike Tyson. Social media has made people very, 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 very brave when it comes to talking trash. Because you can talk all the trash you want on social media, but you could say stuff there that you wouldn't say to people in public. So maybe I'm as guilty as that as anybody else. I have a rule. I'm never going to say anything on the radio that I wouldn't say to your face. That's my rule. I think that's only fair. And if I rip you and I get on you, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be there the next day, that you have immediate availability. So if you want to say something to me, I'm not talking trash on the radio and then hiding behind the scenes. So I go to every Jedfish press conference that I can humanly go to. Tommy Lloyd's, I go see Chip, I go see Caitlin, I go see all the coaches at the University of Arizona. When I worked in bigger markets and I worked in covering the NFL, and I would go see Greg Schiano when he was a coach of the Buccaneers, and I would routinely get his chili, but I made sure I went to his press conference every week, and I asked him a question, and he knew I was there, so if he had a problem with me, we could talk about it. And I actually pulled him aside. I've got a rule. Whenever I get a job somewhere, there's a new coach that comes in, I said, hey, my name's Rich Herrera. I'm on the radio. If I say something that you don't agree with, here's how to get a hold of me. If I say something that's factually incorrect and you want to correct me, here's how you get a hold of me. And if you think I'm being unfair, here's how to get a hold of me. So that way that I have some accountability, that I'm just not running my mouth. With that being said, it is still very easy to be negative in our culture today. So I saw a story that made me smile, and I wanted to share it with you. So J.J. Watts. Are you a fan of J.J. Watts?
Yes.
Okay. I think universally everybody loves J.J. Watts.
J.J. Watt is, I think, one of the more beloved figures in football.
I don't think people dislike him.
No.
Like, he wanted out of Houston. I get that. Disappointed everybody in Houston. But I think it disappointed me because he was so beloved in that community, and he did so much to help them after hurricanes, and raised all that money, and he's a good man. But again, he moved on to the Cardinals. Good for us in Arizona. But I saw this story, and I wanted to share it with you about J.J. Watt. So there was a woman in Houston, and her grandfather had passed away. And we've all been there, and it's sad. And, I've shared with this that, I've lost my mom and dad in the last few years, and it sucks. It sucks. Like, I had this weird dream last night that I was going somewhere with my mom and dad and my brother and sister, and I don't know where I was, at some weird house, and they left me behind. My mom and dad had left me behind, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I woke up in the morning, like, weirdest dream, and I started thinking about it, like, all right, that's just me missing them. Oh, now I'm going to get all upset. So anyway, I know what it's like when you lose a loved one. So this woman had lost her grandfather. And like a lot of people, it's expensive when you lose somebody. So they didn't have enough money to pay for the funeral services. And they owed money back to the funeral home and a bunch of other people. So she went on Twitter and she had a pair of J.J. Watt. Is it Watt or Watts?
Watt.
Watt.
J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt. So they're J.J. Watt's shoes. I want to be grammatically correct when I tell this story.
Right.
So she had a pair of J.J. Watt's Houston Texans Nike shoes. She'd only worn them twice, and she put them up for sale for $60 to help pay for her grandfather's funeral. And then she had also offered up a women's J.J. Watt jersey. I think she wanted $60 for the shoes, $30 for the jerseys. That's the kind of money that she was trying to raise, just scraping together as much as she could. And I think the bill they owed was like $2,500. You see that all the time. You see that here in Tucson.
Yep.
You go places and you'll see people out there like with signs panhandling to try to pay for funeral expenses of loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sad time. So it's out on social media, and J.J. Watt saw it, and he retweeted to the woman and reached out to her. You don't have to do that. We're going to help take care of your grandfather's funeral. So he said, keep your shoes, keep your jersey. We're going to help. And he got in touch with the family. It's still a developing story, and I hope nobody actually knows how much or what he does, because if he kept it really anonymous on the down low, that would be really, really cool. But he stepped up to help pay for that and reached out to one of his fans. And I just thought, wow, that's a cool story. That's a story that kind of hits you right here, makes you tear up a little bit. There's the other story that came out, Uvalde, Texas. During the middle of all of that, somebody stepped forward to help pay for the funerals for all the folks down there, all the victims. And they contacted the governor and gave him a check to help cover a lot of the costs. I think it covered all the rest of the costs. And it turned out it was Bo Jackson who stepped up to do that. And he just said, I've driven through Uvalde, Texas on my way through hunting trips, and I'd stopped there and eat and stopped there and got groceries and supplies and stuff. And he says it's a wonderful town, and that Main Street was something that he felt a connection to, and he stepped forward and he paid for all of that anonymously. And then it got out, and he says, yeah, that was us. But I just thought those are two things that we can all make a difference. We can all do something good in somebody's life. Dragon Ball, you could do something good in somebody's life. I could do something. I've got a bully pulpit of the radio show that I could do a little bit more, and I should do more, and I need to do more. But we could all just do something, open a door, say something nice, help a neighbor. Just think about that. Just think about that. I got a story. I'll tell you a story one of these days. I used to harass my father because he used to make us do stuff for the neighbors all the time, whether my brother and I wanted to or not. All right, coming up, we'll do Dragon Ball's football headlines. They're next.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. for Bernard. Goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's hot! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're tied.
a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down. Trying to find Berrio. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
Pulling on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
down and make Ric Flair and the WCW brand rise above it. So it'd be interesting to see where he gets his impression because, again, for a while, he really kind of saw Vince as the enemy.
I'm trying to get DDP's number. That's what I want.
DDP would be fun.
DDP would be fun. Anyway, hopefully tonight on the network, I'll have one of the WWE superstars join me. So, I got a couple of them, but it's hard to find them, especially on the weekends when they're working. Or Knobs, whoever knows when Knobs is like a St. Bernard.
Right.
Like if you invite him over to your house, you know that he's going to shed, slobber, and break your furniture, but you can't resist wanting to hang out with him.
Just do your best to avoid Pity City.
I've been there. I've been there. And then he's such like I picked him up and got him off his feet once.
Right.
Like we were like grappling, and then I felt old man strength and beer courage, and I got him belly to belly in a suplex, and I got him up off my feet, and I started to turn my hip, and then he just put me down. He just crushed me. All right, let me remind everybody that today's program is brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore, located Oracle in Limberlost. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore, home for golf pros and beginners. They're also the sponsor of our brand new Saturday morning golf show. Tucson's Golf Show. Myself, PGA member Jesse Crow joins us. We're going to talk to the director of golf for Tucson City Golf, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the University of Arizona's new golf facility out at Tucson Country Club, and we'll talk a little bit about Tiger and the British Open and everything else that promotes Southern Arizona golf. It's all brought to you by our friends at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore. They're a big supporter of the game of golf in Southern Arizona. They're a big supporter of the University of Arizona golf team. And again, it's the best place to go if you're looking for golf gear. So let's say you're going to go out this weekend and you want to lose some golf balls. Hey, they've got the biggest selection, everyday low prices, whether it's Pro V1s, TaylorMades, Callaways, Bridgestones, Wilsons. They have them all at everyday low prices. You don't have to worry about them going up, down. They have everyday low prices right there for you in the store. If you need a new pair of shoes from Nike, Adidas, Echo, Puma, New Balance, Skechers, FootJoy, the new MG4s, which are outstanding. I still want a pair of those. They have them. Drivers, Ping, Callaway, TaylorMade, Cobra. Everything you need for golf and everything you need to improve your game is right there at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore, along with great service. Golf pros there at the store that can help you with your game, custom club fitters. Heck, if it's too hot to go hit golf balls, they have 2 bays in there. You can go in there and just hit golf balls. If instead of going out to the driving range in the 110-degree heat, you can go hit them in an air-conditioned bay right there in Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore.
And you won't lose them.
That's true. You won't. That's even better. Maybe I should go do that. They're located at Oracle and Limberlost, and here's a great deal for our listeners. I'm telling you, this is the Rich Rare hookup. $20 off a purchase of $100, $50 off a purchase of $250. Ping, Titleist, FootJoy, not including this promotion. Everything else, including a Theragun, the massage gun. Oh, I'll be using that tonight. Like I'll zap my legs and my back, and it gets the blood flowing, and it gets me going until 3 a.m. Outstanding. All right, you've been waiting for it. For 6 weeks, we have been having the vote for Tucson's Top Cat. We've got a winner. Chuck Cecil voted the all-time favorite Wildcat by you, the listeners. He joins us next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera